Hello, beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. Woo! Whoa, slow the heck down, Starlight. So anyway, welcome to my YouTube channel, and you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, you could give my videos a thumbs up, and you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget, you can give my videos a thumbs up, and you can leave me a comment down below, beep, 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 and you can share my videos with a squirrel, crazy squirrel, and a fish. So yes, you could share my videos with a fish. Why not? They would love to watch Starlight's videos, and they're very smart, so they would love Starlight's videos. And besides sharing my videos, you can also find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, anyone who would love to send any love donations, you can through my Cash App, and I will have that information here. Ping, there it is. Now today, Starlight is jumping in this video is, do you feel disconnected? Do you feel disconnected? That's what this video is about. So I'm on this, I've been coming out here, but I really have been just out here meditating. And so today we're going to have a little fun and enjoy the trail, and just, and you can enjoy the scenery here as I make this video. So there's a lot of people that feel disconnected, and that's really not a good thing, feeling disconnected. There's lots and lots of people out there feel disconnected. And what do I mean by that is, there's a lot of lonely people out there at all different ages. But you know what has happened is nobody trusts anybody. And on this journey, like, I do talk about protecting your energy, and that is so vitally important. But like today, we still see it, some areas more than others. There's still people that they're letting fear run their life. And what do I mean by that? Is that COVID, I will have to get the year when that happened. What year was that when COVID started? Like when the outbreak, and that was a long time ago, and it affected all of us at different ways. Some of you, actually, like my mentor, he really helped a lot of people to let love guide them and not fear, help them get through that time, like I got help. So there are people like that who already was aware not to let that fear overtake them. So today, I've been seeing it a lot in this area, is people still wearing a COVID mask, some kind of a mask, because of that time of COVID, and they're still affected today by what happened, and what a miserable, horrible life that would be, that, you always have to wear this mask. And how could you ever have a relationship with anyone out in the world if you're afraid that you're, being in fear of ever having COVID, and so that is a big reason why a lot of people feel disconnected, is because they're afraid. There's a lot of lonely people, and we all been burned more than once if you've been around long enough. And even for people to go and they're single and they want to meet someone, but I used to go on the dating apps, and I'll tell you, whew, that was a lesson. I'm gonna make a video on that one of these days, on dating apps, but my experience. But yeah, is that, even going for people to meet someone out on the internet, they get really upset because they waste so much time trying to reach out to somebody, trying to get connected with somebody, and you do have to protect yourself no matter what, even online, getting connected with people. And it's a hard thing because we really can't trust people, because I'm not wearing a mask. I took my mask off, but mostly everyone is wearing a mask. And not just one mask, many masks, There's layers to wearing a mask. And I didn't know that until I was learning years ago to take my mask off, and the other mask, and the other mask, So it does take time to really do that inner work and to learn to be real and authentic. So it is a world that we live in that there's a lot of people that are disconnected, from people. And I just made a video the other day is about not believing all the lies out there, or not to believe this lie. And that's about, race is an illusion. But, there's people that are out there and they want to divide us. Then there's people like Starlight. I want people to unite. And it is so important because there's no one better than anyone, no matter what. And it is all an illusion. And most of you will not get what I mean by how is race an illusion, but I'm not going to talk about that in this video, because I'm focused on, people being disconnected. There's a lot of lonely people out in the world, and they spend all their time alone. And spending your time alone with yourself is a great thing. It's not a bad thing. But like I was learning not too long ago, it's when you're forced to be alone, and that's why we gotta let go of that fear, and we gotta take some risk, out in life, to get connected, with other people, like-minded people like yourself, and so that means that it's it's not a fast-paced thing to do. And so I just met a lady out here, which is great. She gets connected with other people, and they go out in the community and do things together. And that's what it's a wise thing to do, is to, find some kind of group, something that you enjoy doing, and let love guide you, not fear. Stop being afraid of, what somebody's going to do to you. And I do protect myself. I talk to people all the time, because that's what the universe, I am putting positive energy out in the world and helping people with their problems, And I just was talking to a guy the other day, helping him out, because he's really, 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 really upset with what's going on in the world, with the politics, with the president. And I was helping him out, I said, I don't know you, but I love you. And I said, you know what? You gotta stop letting that all control you, because, it's not good for your health. It's not good for your health to get that upset. And, that that's exactly what they want. And he actually, I was surprised, like, he was an older man, but you know what? He didn't know me. He could have told me to blank off and get mad and upset, but he didn't. He knew that I was coming from a pure heart, and I meant well, and I saw something in him, and I just wanted to help him out by using my voice and letting him know that you gotta relax, because you're getting so upset and it's not good for your health. And he said, I know what you're saying. So now what if I was afraid to go near that man because he saw a sticker on my car? That's a part of what I do here, is I reach out to people and I help people out in any way I can. And so I will be a constant reminder to that man, is, not to get so fired up. because that's what happened, is that he got fired up over the things. And I was trying to help him, and let him know that, the president is just a puppet, and they want us to be afraid. They want us to be upset. But we really can't give them that power, because then they're controlling us. And so we got to be careful out here in society, protect yourself. But there's a lot of lonely people, and like I mentioned about the people with a COVID mask, because what kind of future do they have? Do they even have a loved one? Are they single? Do they want love in their life? How's that going to work? How's that going to work? So we have to, even like I said the other day, about race, even though that's an illusion, we need to put our differences aside and get to know, you can feel people out. Take things slow. You don't have to rush into anything. But it's wise to get connected, not just with the people out in the community, but also reconnect with who you are. And this is what society has done to us, is the way this world is, being so disconnected that we're not even connected to who we are. We don't even know who we are and why are we here, because a lot of people are disconnected. They are filled with fear, but we got to let that fear go. That's how they control people. I met lots of people on this journey, and they share their stories, and they share with me what they're struggling with. There's people, they don't know how they're going to make it financially. So all these stress and worrying and fear, takes you away from connecting with yourself. Getting out here like I am, out in nature, this is a way that you can reconnect with who you are, and being alone is a great thing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing, but I do know a lot of people who struggle with being alone. You need the balance of both. You need your alone time so you can reconnect with who you are, sit with yourself, sit with your emotions. When you have an emotion, ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? And don't try to run away from it, but sit with that emotion and really, you got to feel people out. Not so much hear what, it's good to listen to what people say, so, you can hear what they're saying, but you really need to feel their energy when they talk, if they're being honest. And when you believe that they're being dishonest, move on. You ain't got time to waste with people that can't be honest with you. You're wasting your time and energy with those kind of people. You got to find people who are like you. Who are you? What do you like to do? So you got to let love guide you, not fear, is by first reconnecting with yourself. Find a beautiful hiking place. Now, I haven't been on this trail in a long time. So, go out and find a beautiful hiking place with yourself and sit with yourself. Talk to the universe, talk to God, talk to Jesus, or the higher power, source, whatever name you have for it, is communicate. Say, this is what I'm going through, and sorry about this noise. And you can ask for help. I'm struggling, how are you struggling? You can get help by reaching out. And everything that you're searching for is inside of you. It's not outside of you. That's why it's so important to sit with yourself. Starlight does this a lot, and I love it. I love sitting with myself, and that is what I'm out here doing, is to get alone and, to meditate out here. And of course today I'm actually hiking, so I'm hoping to find a cool little spot out here. So, oh, okay, that's funny. I'm actually out here making a video. But yeah, thank you. That's funny. I was taking your advice and I decided to come out here and check it out.
I just like it. Right up here, this is the top of this little crest. It's very pretty.
Oh, good. Thank you. I was like, hey, I'm going to go where she said. So, yes.
Have fun.
Yeah, you too.
We just flushed a deer.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Enjoy your day. So, yeah. So it is so important to, a lot of people say they don't have time. And that's the big problem, is that, we have all these excuses why we can't do this and why we can't do that. But where's your time going? Where's your time being spent? And there's times that we, like I want to tell somebody coming up is, what? We make time for things that matter. And I hope you're making time for what really matters. We make time for things that we want to make time for. Sometimes people don't make even time with their family members. I'm too busy to spend time with my family members. And then when they pass away, then you know what? It's too late now. They're not even here. That's why you want to, connect with those loved ones now, while they're here. Make time for them now while they're here. So when you lose people, and I wouldn't want that to happen, but it does happen, you won't feel guilty about not being there for them when they were here. And that happens to a lot of people. A lot of people, they get upset with themselves because they put other things before their family members, and they put things that didn't matter, or waste a lot of time on the internet, and on things that weren't helping them to grow or anything. And then, bam, time goes. Time is an illusion. So you can get reconnected today with yourself first. Talk to God, or talk to the source or the universe, or whatever name you have for it. Or even like I do, is I talk to Archangel Michael, and that's what I'm going to be doing out here, is explaining what my fears are. What am I going through? What do I need help with? Do I need guidance? Do I need some confidence? What is it that I need right now? And that's how you get connected, and then you got to be patient, and you got to wait for the answers to come through. Because a lot of people, they get impatient, and that's when they make the wrong choices in life by, not being patient and hearing back. So anyway, I don't know how many minutes this has been. So you do need to get alone with yourself. And like meditation is really good for you. A lot of people that say they're Christians, they don't understand what meditations are. But it clears out negative energies, and it helps you so you can focus, on you and what is going on inside of you. And so you can have more clarity, because we get a lot of influences in our life that can really mess up our thought patterns and really get us lost, because now we got so many other people's opinions and voices in our heads that we kind of get lost. But it helps clear out all the confusion, so you're able to process things clearer, so you can actually focus on the things that you need to focus on instead of being scattered brain. So it's so important. Like I said, everything that you're searching for is inside of you. So the more you connect with yourself, you'll be able to find those connections out in the world that really aligns with who you are. And that means it's going to be a lot of blood, sweat, and tears of, doing the inner work, doing the shadow work, letting go of things that don't serve you, letting go of people that no longer serve you. And when you release all those things that are not for your good, then you'll be able to see clearer and understand things more on your journey as far as what your dreams are, what you desire, and all that. So don't let fear control your life, Don't be afraid, because a lot of people, no matter what age, I've noticed it more in folks that are older, they want that connection, but it's not just the older folks, it's everyone. There's people at younger ages, they just don't know how to connect with other people. And that's why you gotta be friendly to people, but protect yourself, protect your energy, have safe boundaries, because that's what I had to learn on this journey. It's okay, to reach out and get to know people, but you want to take things slow and don't try to be friends right away. First, you want to let's see if we can even be friends. Let's see what we have in common. Let's see what we don't have in common. See where that goes. You don't want to rush things, and that's what happens so many times to so many people. They are in a rush to get to nowhere, and then they get hurt later on because they were too quick. They wanted it now. They weren't being patient. Just like the way people drive on the road. People are, the last couple of days, I didn't even know what the speed limit sign was. When I wake up, I do not go fast. The speed limit could say 45, and Starlight's probably going 40. So Starlight has a way of getting people mad, and I'm like, you know what? There's another lane. I'm not the person to hurry up, jump in my car, and go super fast. I'm learning on this journey is to take things slow and be patient, and that's what we all need. We don't need to be in a rush. That's when accidents happen. That's when people get hurt. That's when we hurt ourselves and others. So I love you so much. You got to connect with yourself. You want those connections out in the world? Well, connecting with yourself inside, work on the things that you're not happy with, If you got anger issues, work on that. We shouldn't hate anybody. And no matter what they do, we have to keep our hearts right with those people. And understand it's a test. Those are tests. There's people out there, they hate. And I don't even like using the word. I don't even like to say that word because it's a very powerful word. We need to forgive those people and we need to let it go. And it takes time to do that. It doesn't happen overnight. So I hope you get a lot of help from this video. I love you so much. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight, love, light, and peace. Thank you for watching. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight, love, light, and peace.